What's up guys, what's up girls, this is JJ and welcome to yet another 1 vs 1 commentary shoutcast of House of the Swarm Starcraft game. This time it's going to be in the bottom right corner, LiquidSnute. Snute, an inconspicuous name, but an impressive player indeed. That man has the moves, has the skill, has the play in him. He's got Starcraft in his blood and he's amazing. And I cannot expect what will Snute surprise us with this time, because man is Snute a capable guy. Oh my god, we can see that Nara, another player in this game, they are so nice buddies. And this is true sportsmanship, ladies and gentlemen. We have a game, but it does not mean that we have to hate each other and do everything possible to hate and discrepify other person in the game. Now, Nara is going to spam in the bottom left corner, so we have a spawn. Also a pause. Okay, guys are so nice to each other. That's how we should all behave. That's what you should feel about Starcraft. So both guys start at the bottom side of the map, which actually has serious implications. I'm going to talk about it for a moment and leave the production up to you if you want to check out the build order. We can assume that Nara is going to start a wall off and create an early expansion, as typical lately between Protoss and Zerg matchup. Now, I think that we can expect Snute to actually, actually do the same. Also expand fast, that is natural. I mean, it's a logical conclusion, it's a good choice, it's what he is expected to do. Now, I want to point out the important implications of what does it mean for both players to spawn on the same side of the map, both of which are, as of yet, ignorant to this fact, but not for long. Snute is setting his overload, and that is going to be a dramatic Hitchcockian-like surprise between he sees, oh my god, my enemy is on the same side of the map as me. That changes my game plan considerably. And why does it change the game plan considerably? Well, first of all, this is going to be second expansion, a natural choice. This expansion is not going to be taken anytime soon by anyone, and I think we can both agree and understand why is that the case. Well, it's so close to Protoss and it's so close to Zerg that this is going to be the war zone, even more because of this Zelnaga Tower. I'd like to point it out because this building is going to have the most pivotal and important role on this map. I believe that both players will vie for control around this area. And why is that so? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it basically shows you everything what happens on this side of the map. It's in a big opening, and they just know what is going to happen on this pathway. And same for this one. There is no way you can attack through the short range with this Zelnaga Tower not under your control, or at least not under enemy's control. Now, Snute is doing a gambit opening, but not as much thanks to the fact that he knows his enemy is going for 2 base Protoss early option. He is decided not to try any sort of harassment due to late spawning pool, so he is aware of the fact that there is no way on earth that he will be able to make substantial damage to his enemy. So he has decided to open up with the third expansion, a logical place to take third expansion for the Zerg, and from this place, I assume Snute will eventually, as the Zerg haven't custom, I would say, go here to take claim 4th base and up right here if game permits and allows. No, we'll see how it actually develops, and unfortunately he is not able to take this expansion whatsoever at all. So, as far away from the Protoss, that is going to be Snute's motto for expansions, and I believe Nara will do exactly the same. Though I think he will try to vie for control over this place with the use of pylons, aggressive warp-ins, and war of attrition, shall we say. And now gateway technology is going to be warp gate technology is not yet started. What is Nara doing? That is quite surprising. I believe he should be doing it straight away. He is forcing more on the macro, but that is, oh yes, here we go, and we don't have it. Oh yeah, we have a chrono boost on that, interestingly enough, a gateway boosted with Starcraft. Now, this is essential. This is essential for Protoss players. Without this, Protoss is handicapped. We all know that. We accept the fact. And that's it, that's life. Oh, those Zergs didn't stand, unfortunately, a chance. But look at it, they will manage to escape, flee, and tell the tale of terrific, horrifying, and monstrous Protoss invaders on that inconspicuous star station somewhere lost in the deep space in the cold void. Now, why would they fight and vie for control over this piece of land? I have no idea, I have no clue, and I have no interest whatsoever. What matters is the bloody fight itself. Now, well, we have an aggression early stage, but I believe Nara might have actually bitten a little more than he can chew and swallow, because Snute has used a lot of lavas to produce a substantial amount of Zerglings for this time of the game. It's maybe only 8, but it's 4 drones less, and at this stage of the game it's not as important to kill Zerglings but to deny the use of lava and turning them into drones. We know that Zerg are very prone to extensive and effective microplay, thanks to the use of injecting lava and creating a large number of workers at the same time. This is their speciality, this is what they do best, this is what they are good at. So this is what we expect from Snute, and he does not fail to produce and give us what we want to see. He does not fail from delivering 9 drones at the time, and his drone count is getting substantially higher than his opponent's probe count. It might actually seem that this game is going to be a macro style game, and a good play, a good read by Nara. He has already done an immortal in case of some sort of roach link pressure, which is the case, it's a possibility. And now look, control of this watchtower gives him all the information that he needs. Snute knows that this watchtower is crucial, essential and important in control of this battlefield. Now those Zerglings are in a world of hurt and they should run for their dear lives. I am afraid those guys won't have another chance, unfortunately. When it comes to resources lost, Snute is a little, it's minimally behind. It has absolutely no matter for the time being, because we see no early timing whatsoever, or I at least don't expect to see timing. Interestingly enough, we see Snute developing a ranged weapons upgrade as the first upgrade for Zerg forces. Now that's a tell that gives us a substantial read on his intentions. What I mean by that, ladies and gentlemen, infestation pit as well. Well, that means that we are going to see a ranged Zerg composition. At least I believe so. It will be ranged Zerg composition primarily, and there's the proof. We have swarm hosts on the way, ladies and gentlemen. So it is not. It might actually be a war of attrition and a long siege. Excellent use of force fields. Cut this army, not perhaps in half, but a big proportion of Zerglings has been mutilated, butchered, and annihilated in this short but excessive exchange. Now Nara is taking control of this watchtower with the use of a proxy pylon, an effective strategy, and I believe a sound one that is useful and one that is good. The moment Nara will realizes the enemy has swarm hosts, a siege unit of considerable strength, he will have to invest heavily and quickly into Colossi technology, because and he'll have to play it cautiously, and I believe that might be actually the case, as we see Snute is starting to prepare for a siege battle. And now it is obvious we have locusts on the battlefield, so Nara knows what's going on, what's in the kitchen, what's cooking, and what is happening. Those Zerglings should become the mighty top. Oh my god, those Zerglings are going to die a horrid death, a horrid life. It's painful to watch. No! Oh my god. So much blood. All those Zerglings have been mutilated, annihilated, exterminated. I don't know how else to call that. They certainly suffered considerable loss. A lot of Zerglings killed means that Snute's plans of conquest and successive forward move will be slowed down for the time being. No 2 evolution chambers, so only 1 evolution chamber for the time being. He is focusing on the range damage of locusts, and that's a good idea, because they are of course 3 units. So yeah, we momentarily we see Robo Bay, and the moment it's out, I expect Colossi to start appearing anytime soon, or at least the moment pylons spawn and allow us to add some units into it. And we have an interesting play by Nara. Nara is buying time with that attack. Basically, its function is to buy time and use attack to get as much out of it as possible, especially that it's a one-way ticket. Those immortals won't have an opportunity to get out of it. That zealot is unfortunately path blocked by those heavy, chunky, and clumsy immortals. I think that was pretty not exactly effective worker-wise. He took out some force, and he forced Snute to focus on his base instead of pushing that creep line forward, pushing that siege line forward up until his enemy's territory. Now, Nara has to buy time if he even wants to think about winning this game, because his saving grace, his trump card, and his solution, his final solution to Swarm Host threat is apparently going to be Colossi tech instead of A units. He has chosen to go Colossi. Now, this might go both ways depending on Snute's choice, because it's Snute initiative at the moment. He controls the situation and does this proxy pylon, I don't know, Jerry, let's call him. He is dead, and bye bye Jerry, it was nice knowing you. You will have to be respawned one time again. Now, we have Vipers on the battlefield, so what that tells us is that Snute is expecting Colossi, because he's seen Immortals. He does not expect A units, and rightfully so, because there won't be any A units on the battlefield. But preventively he's adding Hydraulics then, and that's a good play. It's good to be cautious, and we have Snute following up and continuing his ruthless and merciless assault. And that Stalker is in a world of hurt, but not as much as it was before. He has managed to escape. 1 Zealot dying, 3 damage is free, so it's always nice. 2 Zealots dead after this spawn of units. Now, Adrenal Glands added, and during Locust, I always wonder why didn't they give this skill some fancy pantsy sort of name? I mean, why not? It's a nice skill, it has potential, like, I don't know, Enduring Glands or something like that. It would be nice to have something fancy called. Hydraulics added as well, and a level 3 attack for range units by Snute. He means business, he wants those Locusts to be brutal and effective. Now, Time Warp launched, those Colossi are being stacked up and piled up, and I wonder whether Snute is going to decide to invest into Corruptors. That might be a good thing and a bad thing at the same time, because we must remember that if you use Corruptors, you basically show your hand. Oh, and we have nice yoinks, and we have an abduction of Mothership Core and a Colossus, and both are dead. Those Vipers are too precious to let them die. And that's a nice play. Colossi count has been reduced by a single Colossus, and remember, those units are so damn expensive, so precious. It's a good idea that Nara took this third base, because it has to be used while it lasts. Hallucinations added in order to scare Snute and buy even more time for Nara, because at the moment he knows that his enemy has the initiative, and he has to play it conservatively. Whatever the hell that means, well, he needs to focus on the defensive. That Colossus is in danger. He has lost all his shields and took some substantial damage, and Colossus count is growing, and that's what we want to see. 4 Colossi at the moment are run by Zerglings. It's serious, it's bad for Snute, it's problematic, it's painful. Another 2 Colossi added, ground weapons level 2. Nara is behind an upgrade. Those Zerglings will most likely get roasted before that Nexus falls, and yes, emergency preemptive measures used to protect the Nexus from the vile Zerglings. But meanwhile, Snute has moved forward, the creep spread is getting closer and closer to Nara's third base, and the moment those Locusts reach that place, and most importantly the Swallow, game's basically over for Nara, because he will be forced to fight in his own base, and that is not going to be a good scenario. A lot of false Colossi added in, all for the sake of absorbing some damage from the real deal Colossi. Now, those Spore Crawlers are going to be taken out, some additional defense against air units, but not in this scenario. Now, that is a serious mistake. Snute shouldn't have done that. He is in the range of all the Protoss army, and oh my god, this is going to be a massacre. There are so many Colossi in this game. There are still 6 Colossi, and they are butchering, burning and roasting everything alive. A beautiful yank, but on a hallucination, and this army has been obliterated, roasted, burned down, and butchered by the high colossal count. Now, Snute has lost. He has given up, and he was defeated. He knows that he won't be able to restock that army as fast as he would like, because, well, he has 37 lava, but the enemy is at the doorstep, and that's also important in this game, the short travel time between 2 bases. And the entire battle was here around that Zelnaga tower as predicted. A lot of bank for Snute, but he did not have anything to spend that money on. He did not invest in air tech, which I personally think is a mistake in that scenario, because Colossi would actually lose to a lot of Corruptors. There's no blink on Starcraft. He does not have a lot of upgrades. A combination of Vipers and Corruptors would have been far more effective than Hydraulics, who are simply being burned alive by Colossi. So this game was in Snute's initiative. He controlled the flow, But controlling the flow of the game is not enough. You must avoid doing the critical mistake, and that critical mistake happened. I'm actually going to rewind a bit. It actually happened the moment he was careless with his siege units, and he allowed that Colossi count to actually annihilate him. He was unable to snipe them down to limit enemies' growing Colossi count, and now we see the start of the offensive, the beginning of the end. And what I mean by that, Protoss has a good dev, but he uses guardian shields effectively. He's got a lot of energy for force fields. He's got a high Stalker count, a lot of zealots to soak up that damage. So he is in a great position. And now this is the critical mistake. Snute has walked forward. I don't know if it was a misclick or not, but he walked forward with his swarm hosts. You don't do that because, well, if you do that, you lose those units, and they are expensive. Now let's check it out just to prove a point. Swarm host costs 200 minerals, 100 gas, free supply. So they are expensive, and losing even a few makes you unable to fight effectively. Zerg using swarm host actually is somewhat like Terran players using mech and playing in hope of focusing on the aspect of the game where you siege up, move forward, gain ground superiority and control of the area, and move forward a little bit again. And it's effective, it's a good strategy, even for Zerg with those units. But you can't do that mistake. This is exactly what killed him. Let's just slow down a little bit and just look. Hydralisks, the assumed counter to some air units, that did not happen. And that should have actually made Snute change his technology, are incapable of making a fight against Colossi because they are just burning alive. They have no chance with zero armor against Colossus Death Ball. You need, in that case, you need Corruptors, Vipers, whatever, that combination would have been far more effective. And Roaches as all damage soakers and use of Viper Swarm Cloud, that would have been, in my personal opinion, a better choice for Snute. So a lesson for you Zergis out there: if you go Swarm Host, which is a good strategy on its own, adapt to what enemy is doing by creating auxiliary units that actually counter his response. So if it's Colossi, go Corruptors, add Vipers, and keep the Colossi count under control, with Roaches for soaking up damage. If it's air, Hydralisks are your best bet, and some Corruptors are good as well, in my personal opinion, of course. At least a few, depending on what kind of air units are we going to see from our Protoss player, though it's usually Void Rays, because they just burn away everything that Zerg has in the air and on the ground. So yeah, that's it, and I hope you enjoyed, guys. I hope it was illuminating, interesting, and enjoyable just as much as it was to me. Subscribe, comment, like or dislike, share your thoughts, send me your replays at my mail, JayJayShoutcasts@gmail.com. I will gladly cast them, I will gladly analyze them strategically, tactically, however you like it, and I will gladly post them on my YouTube channel. I'll see you around next time. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will be back with more Starcraft in the future. You can count on that. JayJay signing out.